Hi there, my name is Amanda and today's video is going to be my November wrap-up. So this month I read a couple books. I ended up completing about 5 books, 1 ebook and 4 physical books, and I did either start or continue reading some books, but I didn't finish them, so I still mentioned them here. So the first book I'll talk about is the ebook that I read, and that is You Got Me Senpai Volume 1, which is a manga ebook that I read and I ended up picking from my TBR box. So this is a romance manga that follows a girl who one day kind of finds her desk at school written on, and she tries to figure out who this is, and it turns out that it's a boy and he had written like cheesy love song lyrics on her desk, and she kind of smitten with him, and then they kind of start dating very quickly, and the story is about how they kind of fall for each other, and it's really sweet. I really like it. I'm trash for manga, romance manga, shoujo manga, whatever you want to call it, and this was just like right up my alley. I see a little people saying like, oh well, it's not realistic, and like no manga is ever realistic in that genre, and it's not that it's not unrealistic either. Like, people can fall in love or start dating randomly, and that's exactly what happened. Girl took a chance and he decided, sure, we might not, they even say, we may not know each other, but let's give it a shot, because obviously there's something here with both of us. So I give it 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to be picking up the other volumes. I think there's up to 4 volumes for this series, which I'm really excited to get into and finish reading. So moving on to the physical books, the first one I have here is another manga, and that is Kiss and White Lily for My Dearest Girl Volume 1 by Kano. So this is another romance manga, except this is a lesbian romance, or yuri if you use the actual Japanese term for it. So this follows one of our main character who is kind of known as a genius, but also kind of the top at her school, or at least when she was in middle school, and then when she got to high school, she was no longer, or is no longer, the first at school. She's actually beaten by kind of like a lazy genius. This person is just smart but loves to sleep, and she kind of gets competitive with this girl, and this other girl becomes infatuated with the main character, or at least one of our main characters, purely for the fact that she just wants to beat her and prove that she is smarter than her, which she's never had in her life, which is really cool. So the two characters on the front here, she is the genius lazy person, and she is the really smart, really determined girl who's always in second place. Although I did enjoy this very much, I actually gave it 3 out of 5 stars, because I felt like we're just learning to know about the characters, and this book kind of concentrates on more than one character, and also the main lazy genius girl, whose name I forget, kind of just throws herself onto the other girl, and the other girl doesn't mind, because clearly she, isn't straight, or doesn't think of herself as straight, or I don't know what, but she kind of is like into the other girl, but at the same time the other girl kind of just like kisses her whenever she wants, and like just things like that, which is typical in manga. Actually, in You Got Me Senpai, there is great consent thrown around all the time, whether it's the girl giving consent or the girl make it like straight that this is not happening, or this, she's willing to do it, and he also kind of prepares her for it in case she doesn't want to kiss or something like that, which is a great example of consent. This one a little bit less, but I don't think it's meant to be that way. I think it's just supposed to be part of the characters' personalities and how they, she's determined to get this girl, which means she will do whatever she needs to. I mean, nothing bad has happened, but it's just kind of like a little weird. But yeah, apart from that, I just wish they had concentrated on the 2 girls on the cover. Moving on to the novels that I finished a book that I've been trying to finish since August, and honestly, it was rough. It was really rough, but one Monday I was really not feeling well, stayed home from work, and I just decided to use that time to finish books I wanted to finish, and this was one of them. That is Seraphina by Rachel Hartman. We follow a girl, Seraphina, who is half dragon in a world where humans and dragons are separate beings, and they don't really get along, even though there's a peace treaty going on, and it just sounds really promising. But honestly, I'm so bored. I gave this book 2 out of 5 stars. I could have given it lower, but whatever was left of the book was kind of interesting. I mean, I couldn't care less because I wasn't into the characters, but it was I mean, it was okay. I'm definitely not going to be picking up the second one. I heard it's worse than this one, and if I didn't like this one, I definitely will not like the second one. I actually already know the ending to that one, and let's just say I'm very happy I did not read this. There is another book called Tess of the Road by Rachel Hartman that's within this world but not with the same characters. I might try that and see, but that'll be like on my low priority list, but this is just not for me. It was so boring. I couldn't care less about the characters. The only one I really cared about was Orma. The second book I finished in that Monday I wasn't feeling well and wanted to finish books was The Girl in the Blue Coat, or Girl in the Blue Coat by Monica Hesse, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. This was such a good book, and I'm like kind of sad that it ended the way that it did, but it's also very realistic. So in this book we follow a girl who lives in Amsterdam during World War II. She is a girl who works in the black market, and one day one of her clients is asking her for help to find a Jewish girl that mysteriously disappeared in her home. And oh my god, this book was so heartbreaking. I could barely let go of it. I did a couple times because I had no choice, but like I was so into this book from start to finish. It was like non-stop, just wondering what was going on, and I was shocked by the ending. This is exactly what I like to read when it comes to World War II. But yeah, I highly recommend this book. I'm sure a lot of people have already read it. The next book I picked up is An Abundance of Catherine by John Green, and I had started reading this, I think, in October? Yes, in October, and I read about halfway through, and then I got stuck. Well, I got occupied with other readathons and stuff, so I didn't end up finishing it, but I did want to finish it this month because I really wasn't enjoying it, and I still didn't enjoy it. I gave it a 2-star as well. I think I gave it a 2-star, like a 2.5, but it's not a good rating. I was really bored. I just didn't understand the plot of this, like comparing, let's say, Looking for Alaska and An Abundance of Catherine, which are the 2 John Green books I've read. Looking for Alaska has like such better plot, I guess, maybe more of the message behind it. Well, there is a message, or at least I think there's a message the way I took it. But this one, it's just like whatever. I don't know if there's supposed to be a message, and if there was, I honestly didn't care or didn't get it because I don't care. I couldn't care less about the characters. I couldn't care less about the stupid theorem that he's doing. Like, who gives a shit? Like, the main character, and it's just like like he wasn't as intolerable as the character in Looking for Alaska was near the very end. He was just like at a constant streak of, wow, you're annoying. Wow, I don't care. Wow, wow, wow. And just like being bored. Like I didn't hate the character, but I definitely did not like the character. And the only thing that I was really shocked about this was like the little plot twist that they had in it. But that's like it. Which, I mean, I was like, I wasn't expecting that, and then I couldn't care less. So I don't know if this is what all contemporary books are like. If it is, then definitely not. I'm not a contemporary person if that's the case. But yeah, I read it, and now I can say that I read 2 John Green books. One that I kind of liked and one I did not like. So those were all the books that I finished in the month of November. I do have a couple books that I'm just going to briefly like show that I'm still currently reading, that I forgot to mention in my TBR because I filmed my TBR like a little bit in advance, a couple of days, so I thought I was going to be able to finish all these books. I don't know what I was thinking, but I didn't. So the first book I have is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. I think I have 100 pages left. I'm on chapter 35. I really have not much left, but I cannot wait to finish it. I'm really enjoying it, so nothing bad to say. I will discuss it more in my wrap-up of December. The next one I also started, Girls, A Paper and Fire. I'm about halfway through, I'd say. Really enjoying it as well, so nothing bad to say about it. And the last and final book that I picked up and didn't finish was Daughter of the Siren Queen. I had started reading this for Fallen Fantasy. I did not finish, and I failed that challenge because I got no books finished. But I did start it and I really wanted to, so now I actually have a reason to read it for the month. And I'm not far into it. I'm on page 75, chapter 5, and it's like a 300-page book. Yeah, I'm reading these 2 that are new, and The Girl Who Drank the Moon I've been reading since October, so I'm a little bit slow in reading. I've been kind of feeling down, and you can probably tell by my attitude today. It's just been really busy at work, you know, with December coming, well, Christmas coming and everything like that. It's just like a lot of stress, but I'm trying to get as much reading as possible, but also trying to enjoy it. So like if I don't want to read, I don't want to force myself because I don't want to have any negative feelings towards books. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it's not too long, but I also don't want to be too short. I want to talk about the books a little bit. Yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoyed, and I shall hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!